this is Orrin Smith with Palmetto Promise Institute, and this is a Palmetto Freedom Agenda issue overview. The issue today, property rights, or more specifically, asset forfeiture. It's no secret that most of the issues in our Freedom Agenda tend to be center-right, meaning that they enjoy support among citizens who would identify themselves as very conservative, and leaning conservative. But based on our polling, this agenda also enjoys support from a strong subset of those who are more middle of the road politically. One issue in particular that has support all along the ideological spectrum, right, left, and center, is property rights. After all, a driving force in the founding of America was the defense of private property. We see it throughout the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness was life, liberty, and property. Read your John Locke. The property rights issue we take up today is known as civil asset forfeiture. Under civil asset forfeiture, law enforcement may seize a person's property without charging that person with a crime and then use the proceeds to fund police and prosecution expenses. This is known as civil asset forfeiture rather than criminal asset forfeiture because the seizure is not based on finding from a court that a crime has been committed. Cash, cars, and even homes can be seized based on the appearance that the property was connected to criminal activity. Law enforcement doesn't need clear and convincing evidence of proof. An investigation conducted by the Greenville News some years ago found that nearly 40% of seizure cases in South Carolina, the owner was never convicted of a crime. And if the owner doesn't file a formal claim for their property, the property defaults or is automatically transferred to law enforcement. That happens in about 70% of the cases, according to the study. According to the Conservative Institute for Justice, here is what states have done to fix this problem. 37 states and the District of Columbia have reformed their civil forfeiture laws. 16 states require a conviction in criminal court to forfeit most or all types of property. 27 states and the District of Columbia have instituted new reporting requirements for seizure and forfeiture activity. 16 states and the District of Columbia requires the government to bear the burden of proof for the seizure. Were you watching for South Carolina on those maps? We're among the states that have not acted. North Carolina wasn't shaded, but North Carolina, New Mexico, and Maine have abolished civil forfeiture entirely and only use criminal law to forfeit property. Please understand, this is not a shot at law enforcement. Some jurisdictions in America use forfeiture power wisely and fairly. In other places, it is a policing for profit scheme. The South Carolina Supreme Court has ruled that any changes to this system must come from the General Assembly, not the courts. South Carolina should fully fund the police and address civil asset forfeiture. A higher standard like a criminal conviction should be required for the permanent forfeiture of a person's property. To learn more about the Freedom Agenda and to see our work on asset forfeiture, visit palmettofreedomagenda.org. Thank you.